What if the vegetables you've trusted your whole life, the ones you thought were always healthy, were quietly speeding up aging in your brain, your legs, and even your immune system? After the age of 60, the body changes, circulation slows, inflammation rises, and nutrient absorption isn't what it used to be. That means some vegetables that were once considered safe can now work against health. They may spike blood sugar, irritate the stomach, and even harm the tiny blood vessels that keep the brain sharp and the legs steady. Research in the Journal of Gerontology shows a clear link between certain foods and faster memory loss or mobility problems. And here's the surprising part. These aren't exotic foods. They're common vegetables sitting in most kitchens right now. But this isn't a message of fear. It's a message of hope, because there are simple, science-backed solutions. 3 vegetables in particular may be best to avoid, such as white potatoes, which can stress circulation and raise blood sugar. And 3 others, broccoli, spinach, and carrots, can act as powerful allies, supporting vision, nerve health, and leg strength. Many seniors have regained energy, balance, and clarity simply by making these small swaps. Imagine walking with confidence again, feeling sharper, and knowing that each meal is helping to protect independence. The right vegetables can do more than fill a plate. They can protect the future. But before we talk about the vegetables that can protect your brain, legs, and independence, let's start with the ones that may be quietly working against you. These are foods that look harmless, some even comforting. But after 60, they can fuel inflammation, weaken circulation, and slowly chip away at balance and memory. Think of it this way. Sometimes it's not about what's missing from the diet, but what's sneaking in every single day without being noticed. And the first culprit might surprise you, because it's one of the most common vegetables on the dinner plate, a food many grew up with and still eat regularly. Let's take a closer look. Let's begin with a vegetable that almost everyone loves. The white potato. Baked, fried, or mashed, potatoes have been a comfort food for generations. They show up at nearly every family gathering, on countless dinner tables, and for many of us, they bring back warm memories of home. But here's the part most people don't realize. After the age of 60, white potatoes may quietly start working against the body. Why? Because they rank very high on the glycemic index. That means they turn into sugar very quickly once digested. The result is a sharp spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash. Every time this happens, inflammation rises and tiny blood vessels are put under stress. Over the years, that stress builds up, especially in the brain, the legs, and the feet. This is why seniors who eat white potatoes daily often begin noticing tingling, cramping, or even a loss of balance. And it doesn't stop there. Potatoes are often served with butter, cream, cheese, or even bacon bits. While tasty, these toppings add extra salt and saturated fat, raising blood pressure and putting more strain on the heart. Meanwhile, the potato itself, pale in color, is lacking in antioxidants and protective nutrients. In other words, it fills the stomach but doesn't truly nourish the cells. Let me share a real story. Harold, a 72-year-old retired truck driver, came in for a checkup. He had always enjoyed mashed potatoes every night with dinner. To him, it was just tradition, something he never questioned. But lately, he had started waking up with cold, numb feet. His knees felt stiff. Walking up and down stairs made him nervous because he couldn't always trust his balance. At first, Harold thought, well, this is just aging. But when we looked closer at his meals, a clear pattern showed up. White potatoes, night after night, especially loaded with cream and butter. Over time, this habit had been quietly inflaming his blood vessels and slowing his nerve signals. The very food that gave him comfort was actually making his legs weaker and his steps less steady. The good news is that change doesn't have to be complicated. Harold decided to swap his mashed potatoes for a cup of steamed broccoli just a few times a week. Within 2 weeks, the difference was remarkable. His feet weren't as cold. His knees didn't ache as much. Most importantly, he felt more confident climbing stairs again. That simple swap, one vegetable for another, gave him back strength he thought he had lost forever. So here's the lesson. White potatoes aren't evil, but after 60, they may no longer be the friendly comfort food they once seemed. Before loading your plate with them, pause and ask, is this food quietly weakening my circulation and balance, or is it strengthening me? Choosing wisely doesn't mean giving up comfort. It means finding new comforts that also protect your health and independence. Now let's talk about another vegetable that seems innocent on the surface, but for many people over 60, it can become a hidden trigger for pain and stiffness: the eggplant. Eggplant is colorful, versatile, and used in countless dishes: roasted, grilled, stewed, or tucked into a pasta. It looks healthy, it feels light, and many people assume it must be doing good. But here's what most don't know. Eggplant belongs to the nightshade family of vegetables, along with tomatoes, bell peppers, and white potatoes. And inside this family of foods, there's a natural chemical called solanine. Solanine is a defense molecule that plants use to protect themselves from insects. For younger bodies, it often passes unnoticed, but for many people over 60, especially those with arthritis, stiff joints, or nerve pain, solanine can quietly irritate the body. Not in dramatic ways, but in slow, subtle ways that add up over time. Here's how it shows up. You wake up in the morning and your joints feel stiff or swollen. Your legs feel heavier than usual. Climbing stairs takes more effort. Maybe you notice your back, hips, or knees ache a little more than they used to. And sometimes it's not just the pain, it's the slower reflexes, the hesitation when stepping off a curb, the worry about stumbling. Many seniors blame this on just getting older, when in reality, the foods they're eating might be adding fuel to the fire. Let me share the story of Margaret. She's 68, active, and loves cooking. Ratatouille was her favorite dish, loaded with eggplant, tomatoes, and peppers. She felt proud of eating lots of vegetables, convinced she was making the best choice for her health. But gradually, her mornings started with aching knees and stiff hips. Walking her dog became more challenging. At social events, she would avoid stairs or long walks because she feared losing her balance. When we reviewed her meals, the pattern became clear. She was eating eggplant several times a week, often with other nightshades. It wasn't dramatic, but the constant presence of solanine was irritating her joints and nerves. The connection isn't always obvious, but for sensitive people, it can be the difference between moving freely and moving with pain. Margaret decided to run a simple experiment. She cut out eggplant and other nightshades for 3 weeks. Nothing else changed. By the end of that period, she noticed her mornings were different. Her joints weren't as stiff, her legs felt lighter, and she could walk her dog without the same discomfort. It wasn't magic. It was her body's quiet relief from a trigger she never knew existed. The key takeaway is this: not everyone reacts to eggplant or nightshades. Some people tolerate them perfectly fine, but if you're struggling with joint stiffness, nerve pain, or balance issues, it's worth trying a short break. Remove eggplant for a few weeks and watch closely. Do your mornings feel easier? Do your legs feel stronger? Do you notice more stability when moving around the house? And here's the encouraging part. Removing eggplant doesn't mean giving up variety or flavor. There are plenty of delicious alternatives that don't carry the same risk: zucchini, carrots, leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower or bok choy. These options are rich in antioxidants, gentler on the joints, and nourishing for the nerves. So, the next time you're about to add eggplant to the pan, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this food helping me move freely, or is it quietly slowing me down? Sometimes, just listening to your body and making one small adjustment can bring back energy, confidence, and freedom you thought was gone. The next vegetable might surprise you because it looks so fresh and harmless: the green bell pepper. Crisp, colorful, and often tossed into salads, stir-fries, or wraps, green peppers feel like the very definition of healthy. But here's the hidden truth. For many older adults, they may cause more harm than good. Green bell peppers are actually just unripe red, yellow, or orange peppers. And that matters because in their unripe state, they contain fewer antioxidants and more of a compound called lectins. Lectins are natural proteins that plants use as a defense against insects and animals. But when humans eat them, especially in large amounts, they can stick to the lining of the gut. Over time, this irritation can reduce nutrient absorption and even cause tiny openings in the gut wall, a condition often called leaky gut. When that happens, small particles slip into the bloodstream and the immune system responds with low-grade inflammation. For younger people, the body often manages. But after 60, when inflammation is already higher, lectins can quietly add more fuel to the fire. And where does that inflammation show up? Often in the joints and nerves. The ankles feel stiff, the knees ache a little more, or the fingers don't move as freely. Sometimes it shows up as bloating, brain fog, or that vague heaviness that makes movement less smooth. The challenge is that these changes happen slowly and silently. So many people simply say, "It's just aging." But sometimes the real culprit is sitting right there in the salad bowl. Let me give you an example. Thomas, a 70-year-old retiree, loved making fresh salads every afternoon. His favorite ingredients were cucumbers, onions, and a big handful of raw green peppers. He believed he was doing everything right by eating vegetables every day. But gradually, he noticed his joints felt stiffer, especially in the mornings. He also had occasional stomach discomfort and found himself feeling more sluggish than usual. When we looked at his meals, the green peppers stood out. He was eating them almost daily, always raw. So he tried a simple change. For 3 weeks, he swapped green peppers for red and yellow ones instead. Same crunch, same flavor, but a very different effect. Within that short time, his bloating improved, his joints felt lighter, and he even mentioned that his thinking seemed clearer. What changed? The reduction in lectins and the boost of antioxidants like vitamin C and beta-carotene found in ripe peppers. Now, some might wonder, but what if I cook them? Doesn't heat destroy lectins? The answer is only partly. Cooking can reduce lectins a little, but green peppers are often eaten raw or lightly stir-fried, so most of the lectins remain. That means the irritation can still build up over time. So here's the takeaway. Green peppers aren't dangerous for everyone, but if you're dealing with bloating, stiff joints, or brain fog, it's worth testing. Avoid them for 2 to 3 weeks and see how your body responds. If you notice lighter joints, better digestion, and more energy, then you've identified a trigger food. And the good news is, you don't have to give up peppers altogether. Red, yellow, and orange bell peppers are not only easier on the body, but also richer in antioxidants and vitamins that protect your circulation, nerves, and immune system. They're sweeter, more colorful, and far more nourishing. So the next time you reach for peppers at the grocery store, remember, color matters. Choosing the ripe, vibrant ones might be a small decision, but it can make a big difference in how steady, clear, and strong you feel each day. We've talked about the vegetables that can secretly slow you down, but here's the good news. Some do the exact opposite. These are the everyday vegetables that protect your brain, strengthen your legs, and keep your circulation flowing. They're not rare superfoods, just simple choices that can make a big difference. Let's start with one of the most underestimated heroes, the bright, crunchy carrot. Let's begin with a vegetable that almost everyone knows but few truly appreciate, the humble carrot. Bright orange, crunchy, and easy to snack on, carrots often get overlooked as just another side dish. But when it comes to protecting your eyes, your nerves, and your independence after 60, carrots are one of the most powerful allies you can put on your plate. The secret lies in beta-carotene. This is the orange pigment inside every carrot, and once it's in the body, it gets converted into vitamin A. For older adults, this is critical because vitamin A is essential for protecting the eyes. As we age, the risk of macular degeneration, a disease that damages the retina and blurs central vision, increases significantly. That's why reading becomes harder, recognizing faces takes more effort, and driving at night can feel unsafe. But studies show that diets rich in beta-carotene can help slow this decline and preserve sharper vision for longer. In other words, eating carrots isn't just about better eyesight. It's about keeping the freedom to read, drive, and live independently. But the benefits don't stop with the eyes. Carrots are also rich in antioxidants that protect the tiny blood vessels and nerve endings in the legs and feet. These delicate structures are what allow the brain to send quick, clear signals to the muscles. When they're damaged by oxidative stress, communication slows down. That's when balance problems, stumbles, or delayed reflexes begin to show up. By protecting these nerves and capillaries, carrots help keep your steps steady and your movements confident. Imagine walking across a crowded room or stepping off a curb without hesitation. That's the quiet strength carrots help preserve. Carrots also give the immune system a boost. Vitamin A strengthens the body's natural defenses, which is especially important after 60 when immunity naturally declines. That means fewer colds, faster recovery, and more energy to enjoy the things that matter. Now, let me tell you about Susan. She's 66 and had always loved gardening. But over the past few years, she noticed her vision wasn't what it used to be. Reading her favorite mystery novels became difficult, and she often hesitated to drive at night. On top of that, she felt unsteady on uneven sidewalks, which made her nervous about walking her dog. When we looked at her diet, she ate plenty of vegetables, but carrots weren't one of them. Susan decided to make a small change. Every day, she added a handful of baby carrots to her lunch and roasted a few with olive oil at dinner. Within a month, she noticed subtle but meaningful changes. Her eyes didn't strain as much when reading, her night vision improved, and she felt more stable on her feet during walks. It wasn't magic. It was simply giving her body the nutrients it needed to protect her vision and nerves. Of course, how you prepare carrots matters. Steaming preserves more nutrients than boiling, which can leach vitamins into the water. Roasting with olive oil not only brings out their natural sweetness, but also helps the body absorb beta-carotene more effectively, since it's fat-soluble. What you should avoid is deep frying or overcooking, which breaks down the very antioxidants you're trying to get. The best part? Carrots are affordable, available year-round, and easy to store. You don't need fancy superfoods from across the world. Sometimes the strongest protector of your vision, nerves, and immune system is sitting right in your fridge drawer. So, the next time you reach for a snack, think beyond chips or crackers. Grab a handful of carrots instead. Every crunchy bite isn't just tasty. It's an investment in clearer vision, stronger steps, and greater independence for the years ahead. If carrots are the guardians of your eyes and nerves, then broccoli is the quiet superhero for your entire body. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, but broccoli is one of the most powerful vegetables you can eat after 60. Packed with compounds that protect the heart, brain, and bones, it offers benefits far beyond what most people realize. At the core of broccoli's power is a natural compound called sulforaphane. Found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and kale, sulforaphane is like a microscopic shield for your cells. It lowers inflammation, supports heart and brain health, and even activates enzymes that help detoxify harmful substances from the body. This matters because, as we age, chronic inflammation quietly becomes one of the biggest threats. It doesn't shout, it whispers, wearing down blood vessels, fogging memory, stiffening joints, and draining energy. Sulforaphane works behind the scenes to fight that invisible battle. But broccoli doesn't stop there. It's also rich in fiber, calcium, and vitamin K. Fiber keeps digestion moving smoothly and helps feed healthy gut bacteria. Calcium and vitamin K work together to strengthen bones and keep arteries flexible. This means fewer stomach troubles, stronger posture, and healthier circulation. And while white potatoes can spike blood sugar and weaken circulation, broccoli does the opposite. Its nutrients help stabilize blood sugar, which in turn protects the delicate blood vessels in the brain and legs. That stability translates into sharper thinking, less brain fog, better reflexes, and stronger coordination. For seniors, those are the very skills that help prevent falls and keep independence intact. Now let me tell you about Harold, a story that proves just how much difference one simple change can make. Harold was a 72-year-old retired truck driver. For decades, he had eaten mashed potatoes every night with dinner. It was comforting, familiar, and part of his routine. But slowly, Harold noticed changes. His knees felt stiff. His legs swelled after long walks. Climbing stairs made him nervous because his balance wasn't what it used to be. He assumed, like so many do, that this was simply aging. During a routine checkup, we looked at Harold's diet more closely. The pattern was clear: white potatoes loaded with butter or cream night after night. We suggested a small experiment. Instead of mashed potatoes, Harold would try a serving of steamed broccoli a few nights each week. He wasn't thrilled. Broccoli wasn't his favorite, but he agreed to give it a try. 2 weeks later, Harold came back with a smile. His legs weren't swelling as much. His knees felt looser, and he no longer dreaded the stairs. Even more surprising, he said his energy was better throughout the day. "I didn't think swapping one vegetable could matter," he admitted, "but it does. That's the power of broccoli. It's not about fancy supplements or complicated diets. It's about giving the body what it truly needs to fight inflammation, protect circulation, and sharpen the mind." And just like carrots, how you prepare broccoli makes a big difference. Light steaming is best as it preserves sulforaphane. Boiling for too long, on the other hand, destroys much of it. Another great option is to sauté broccoli lightly in olive oil. Not only does it taste better, but the healthy fat helps your body absorb its nutrients more effectively. The key is gentle cooking, enough to soften it, but not enough to strip away its power. The beauty of broccoli is that it works quietly and consistently. Each bite is like casting a vote for stronger bones, clearer thinking, better balance, and steadier energy. And the best part is, it's simple. No exotic powders, no expensive pills, just a humble green vegetable that has stood the test of time. So the next time you're deciding between potatoes and broccoli, think of Harold. One small swap gave him back confidence in his steps and clarity in his mind. Imagine what that could mean for you. Because broccoli isn't just a side dish, it's a daily investment in your future, one forkful at a time. If broccoli is the quiet superhero for the body, then spinach is the fuel that keeps your brain, eyes, and legs moving with energy and precision. You've probably heard all your life that spinach is good for you. But after 60, it's not just healthy, it's a smart choice that can protect independence in ways most people never expect. The secret lies in spinach's natural nitrates. These compounds help widen blood vessels, improving circulation to the brain and legs. Better circulation means more oxygen delivery, stronger muscles, quicker reflexes, sharper focus, and smoother movement. Think of it this way: many falls don't happen because someone's legs are too weak. They happen because the signals from the brain to the muscles arrive too slowly. Spinach helps keep that communication fast and reliable, so even small steps feel safer. Spinach also protects the eyes, thanks to two powerful antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds gather in the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for clear, detailed vision. As we age, the macula becomes vulnerable, and many people experience blurred sight, trouble recognizing faces, or hesitancy when driving. By fueling the macula, spinach helps preserve sharp vision, which directly supports confidence in walking, reading, and staying socially engaged. But that's not all. Spinach provides vitamin K, magnesium, and folate, 3 nutrients that often go unnoticed but make a huge difference. Vitamin K and magnesium strengthen bones, reducing fracture risk. Folate supports brain and nerve health while also playing a role in mood stability. That's why people who eat spinach regularly often report not just better mobility, but also a more balanced, positive outlook. Let me share the story of Ellen, a 69-year-old grandmother who loved spending time with her grandkids. She was active and cheerful, but over the past year, she noticed small changes. She hesitated when stepping off curbs, sometimes felt dizzy, and her reading glasses didn't seem to help as much as they used to. Most concerning, she avoided playground trips because she was afraid she couldn't keep up. When we reviewed her meals, spinach was almost never on the menu. She admitted she didn't care for it much as a child and never picked up the habit. So we suggested a simple experiment. Add a handful of spinach to her morning smoothie and a small serving sautéed with olive oil at dinner. No drastic diets, no complicated rules, just 2 small servings a day. After 4 weeks, Ellen came back with a glow. She said her walks felt smoother, her balance more stable, and her eyes didn't tire as quickly when reading bedtime stories. Even her mood felt lighter. She laughed and told us, "I can finally play tag with my grandkids again without worrying about tripping." That's the quiet but powerful gift of spinach. Of course, preparation matters. Boiling spinach too long is a bad idea, as it drains away much of its nutrition. Instead, add it raw to smoothies for an easy boost, or sauté it lightly in olive oil to unlock its nutrients while preserving its antioxidants. The combination of healthy fats and gentle heat helps the body absorb lutein, zeaxanthin, and vitamin K more effectively. And you don't need a mountain of it. Just a small handful each day is enough to make a noticeable difference over time. The beauty of spinach is its simplicity. It's inexpensive, available year-round, and versatile enough to fit into almost any meal. More importantly, it works quietly in the background, helping the brain stay sharp, the eyes stay clear, the legs stay steady, and the spirit stay strong. So, the next time you see spinach at the grocery store, don't just walk past it. See it for what it truly is. Not just another leafy green, but a powerful ally in the fight against aging. Every serving is like a promise to your future self. Stronger steps, clearer vision, better balance, and the freedom to live life on your own terms. Spinach isn't just food. It's fuel for independence, vitality, and peace of mind. By now, you might be wondering, how do I put all of this into practice without feeling overwhelmed? The good news is, healthy aging isn't about strict diets, expensive superfoods, or giving up everything you love. It's about precision, consistency, and listening to your own body. First, let's clear up a common myth. Many people think that staying healthy after 60 requires following some trendy, restrictive diet. The truth, it doesn't. You don't need to cut out entire food groups or live on supplements. What you do need is to understand how your body responds to the foods you already eat. That's the real key. Take eggplant or green bell peppers, for example. Not everyone reacts to them negatively, but for those who are sensitive, these foods can quietly create problems. Joint stiffness, bloating, brain fog, or slower balance. How do you know if they're affecting you? By experimenting. Try removing them from your meals for just 2 or 3 weeks. Pay attention. Do you wake up with less stiffness? Do you feel lighter, more focused, more stable on your feet? If so, you've identified a trigger, and you can make an informed choice about whether to keep it out of your diet. This isn't about fear. It's about curiosity and awareness. Think of it as running small experiments with your own body. Instead of guessing, you're observing, adjusting, and learning what truly works for you. Another important principle is prioritizing foods rich in antioxidants with a low glycemic index, and especially those from the cruciferous family, like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These foods actively fight inflammation, protect your circulation, and support both brain and joint health. In contrast, starchy foods like white potatoes quickly raise blood sugar, putting stress on your blood vessels and nerves. Swapping just one serving a few nights a week can make a noticeable difference over time. But here's something people often overlook. How you prepare your vegetables matters as much as which ones you eat. Boiling broccoli until it's mushy, that destroys sulforaphane, one of its most powerful compounds. Overcooking spinach, that drains away the very antioxidants that protect your eyes. Deep frying carrots, that breaks down beta-carotene and replaces it with unhealthy fats. The method makes the meal. So what should you do instead? Focus on gentle cooking methods. Light steaming preserves nutrients. Sautéing vegetables with a small amount of olive oil not only keeps their antioxidants intact, but also helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins more effectively. And don't forget raw options. A handful of fresh spinach in a smoothie or a few carrot sticks as a snack can go a long way. The other key is moderation with oils and seasonings. Heavy cream sauces, cheese toppings, or fried batters turn even the healthiest vegetable into a burden for your heart and circulation. A little seasoning, a drizzle of healthy fat, and a light cooking technique. That's all it takes to unlock both flavor and health. Now let's talk about something even more important: consistency. Too often, people look for miracle foods or exotic superfoods that promise instant results. But the truth is, your body doesn't need a rare berry from the other side of the world. What it needs is a steady supply of the right nutrients day after day. Eating broccoli once a month won't protect your circulation. Eating carrots once in a while won't save your eyesight. But eating them consistently, even in small amounts, builds a foundation of strength that lasts. Think of your health like a bank account. Each serving of spinach, broccoli, or carrots is like depositing money. Each plate of heavily processed, fried, or sugary food is like making a withdrawal. One meal won't bankrupt you, and one salad won't make you wealthy. But the pattern over time determines whether your account grows or shrinks. And here's the empowering part: it's never too late to start. Harold, who swapped potatoes for broccoli at age 72, saw results in just weeks. Susan, who added carrots into her meals at 66, noticed her vision and balance improve within a month. Ellen, who gave spinach a chance at 69, regained confidence to play with her grandkids. None of them needed extreme diets. They just made small, consistent adjustments, and their bodies responded with gratitude. So if you're listening right now and thinking, maybe it's too late for me, let me reassure you, it isn't. Your body is always listening to what you feed it. Every bite is a choice, a signal, a message. And every single day, you have another chance to send the right message. Here's the simple formula: test and adjust. Remove potential trigger foods like eggplant or green bell peppers for a short period and see how your body feels. Prioritize protective vegetables. Choose those rich in antioxidants and with a low glycemic impact, especially cruciferous vegetables. Cook smart. Use light steaming, sautéing, or enjoy raw. Avoid overcooking or deep frying. Stay consistent. Small, steady habits build lasting results, far more than chasing expensive or exotic foods. At the end of the day, aging well isn't about restriction. It's about precision. It's about choosing foods that fight for you, not against you. And it's about building a daily rhythm that supports your independence, your clarity, and your joy. So tonight, when you prepare your meal, pause for a moment. Look at what's on your plate and ask yourself, is this food quietly weakening me or is it strengthening me? That one question can change not just your meal, but your future. So here we are, at the end of this journey through the vegetables that can either work against you or fight for you. We've seen how everyday foods like white potatoes, eggplant, and green bell peppers, while familiar and comforting, can quietly add stress to the body after 60. They raise blood sugar, irritate joints, slow nerve signals, and make balance harder. For years, many people assume these changes are just normal aging. But the truth is, food plays a bigger role than most realize. The good news is that just as some vegetables drain your energy, others can restore it. Carrots, with their beta-carotene, protect your eyesight and nerve connections. Broccoli, rich in sulforaphane, stabilizes blood sugar, reduces inflammation, and sharpens the mind. And spinach, loaded with natural nitrates and antioxidants, boosts circulation, strengthens reflexes, and helps preserve vision. These are not exotic superfoods. They're simple, affordable choices that can be found in any grocery store. What matters most is consistency. One bowl of broccoli won't change your life, and one serving of carrots won't fix your eyesight overnight. But small, steady choices add up. Every bite is like casting a vote. for strength or weakness, for clarity or confusion, for independence or decline. Over time, those votes shape the way you walk, think, and live. And it's never too late to start. Harold at 72, Susan at 66, Ellen at 69. Each made small changes, and their bodies responded with gratitude. They moved with more confidence, thought more clearly, and lived more fully. If it worked for them, it can work for you too. So the next time you sit down for a meal, pause for just a moment. Look at what's on your plate and ask, is this food quietly weakening me, or is it strengthening me? That one question can guide you toward better choices. Remember, healthy aging isn't about strict diets or giving up everything you enjoy. It's about precision, awareness, and choosing foods that work with your body instead of against it. With every small decision, you're not just nourishing yourself, you're investing in your freedom, your clarity, and your future. Because the truth is simple, your body listens to every bite, and every day you get another chance to choose strength.